Your dreams were given to you because you are able to turn them into a reality. That is the only reason why you got them. And that's why sometimes the dreams that we have don't make sense to anyone else because they weren't meant for them.
Welcome to another episode of the Journey Podcast. In this episode, we get to hear the amazing story of our special guest, Jose Acosta, where he had to relocate his business, start from zero in a whole different state, not knowing anyone, and now building an empire. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the story. Please don't forget to share and comment, and make sure that you share with other business owners because we're helping one business owner at a time. And welcome to another episode of the Journey Podcast by Collective Closers. Today we have a special guest, Jose Acosta, which I'm excited to have a conversation with you. I know that we know each other by mutual people that somewhere along the line they introduced us because of our company that we're a part of, and not really known a lot about your business, which is why I think I'm so excited to hear from you and understand, your journey. I heard a lot of really good things from other people, so I know we're in for a treat, and I know that a lot of people are going to get to learn from you a lot, learn from your leadership. And also one thing that is exciting to me that I'm going to be a little bit selfish on is how you were able to move from one state to another to work real estate. So that's cool, man. That's super cool to get to connect with someone like you. So welcome to the journey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be a part of this conversation.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. Help us understand, where do you come from? Were you born and you already had a real estate license when, how did that happen? Because a lot of people think that everyone that is in real estate think that was like our primary target. So for you, was that the case?
It actually wasn't the case. I was born in South Central LA. To be exact, I was raised in the projects of in Watts. And how I got into real estate, it was actually through a past friend of mine. His brother was in real estate. He got into real estate. He invited me to a career night out in the city of Hawthorne.
Okay.
And I went, showed up, saw the opportunity. And I thought I want to get a house for my parents. That way we could move out of where we were at. And the rest is history. Did a couple of moves and we're here now. It's been since 2005 that I started real estate. Well, actually that I got licensed in real estate. Before that, that same broker, I was helping him do some things and yeah, we're here now. So it's been a while.
Those career nights actually work. I've seen them.
They work.
I've seen them promoted. I've never met anyone that actually got into the business, and I know for a fact they do well in the business from the career night. So I'm happy they actually do have success stories on that.
Yeah, it worked. And the biggest thing was that he was talking about the possibility of how we can impact other families. How to get ahead in their lives, how to find their properties, how to not be living paying someone else's rent. And then I just knew where my family was at the time and where we wanted to be. So it was a no-brainer for me to begin. It was tough though.
So I'm really familiar with South Central because I myself also I lived in that area too. I went to Locke High School. High School, which is on 111, right? 111 in San Pedro.
108, 111, yeah, around there.
Around there, right? What high school did you go to?
Jordan and Watts.
Jordan, okay, there you go. Yeah. So Jordan and they were like best friends, the opposite of that, right? You know what I mean? So that's so cool, man. That's so cool. So we come from the same stomping grounds there. That's really, I didn't know that. There you go. So okay, so then you went with the idea to learn about real estate so you can invest and buy your first home for your family. That was the idea originally?
That was the original idea. And then my one of my uncles on my dad's side, I'm not sure exactly if he was an investor or if he was in real estate, but he ended up helping my dad get a property. And then from there, I still wanted to get them out of that area and God, we were able to get them to move to Whittier after that point.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So what were you doing before real estate? Because yes, a lot of people say, I stumbled across real estate and I found my career, but I noticed for the most part, they're coming from other industries or they're doing another type of work that just helps them incorporate into the industry.
So before real estate, I did a bunch of different things. I started working very early. At 12, I started working in middle school, and
Oh,
then I started working for the school. After that, I did work at a concession area of Edwards Cinema. I think it's
hmm.
still Edwards Cinema out in Southgate, right there off of
Mm,
Garfield and Firestone.
yeah.
Well, I was right there serving popcorn, selling candy, and doing all of that stuff. And I also did security
Okay.
for radio stations.
Oh, wow. So then those jobs, you think they gave you some sort of skills for you to like now? I mean, you hold a space in the company, a leadership role, right? And just so
Mhm.
people can understand a little bit more about what you do with the company and how is your career, I don't want to say different because you still sell real estate, right? Like you still do the
That's right. Look,
regular sales transactions, but you also have a leadership role with the company. What do you do now? What is it? What hat are you wearing?
so I have, besides selling real estate myself, I am the broker for the state of Arizona. We
Hmm.
have 68 agents, and we help with the team out here, run the brokerage out here. And then for the company level, I am the agent experience officer, and I
Hmm.
just participate in the growth of the company. Right now, we're in 9 different states. We're about to hit the 1,000 agent mark of agents that have joined the company. And that's what I do. I help on the back end. So a lot of the stuff people won't see until it takes place.
Right. Definitely. And how did you get to that space? Because I feel like a lot of people that I connect with that they're new to the industry, they're thinking, well, I'm gonna go sell houses and then what? Like usually people will ask me that question. So then what happens? Do I have to open up my own brokerage? Or do I just have to sell houses till I die? Like they have those doubts. I don't think a lot of people understand that with organizations, you can actually play different leadership roles. Well,
Hmm.
how did that play a role for you? And also, how did you go from California to Arizona? When did that happen?
All right. So I'm going to start it there.
Okay.
All of this came through everything falling apart for me and my family. So
Wow.
in California, everything was just not going the way we expected. Business had fallen apart. I had made some financial decisions that were really straining me down, and I got to a very low point in my life, very very low point, in which I just didn't think that I was gonna make it for another day, really.
Wow.
Emotionally, spiritually, with my wife, and we talked and we said, look, if we stay in California, I don't know what's going to happen, so we need to get away from all this. And thank God, we moved to where we're at in Arizona because of my father-in-law. He has a house out here,
Okay.
and we told him we just want to use the place for a little bit. Meanwhile, we get back on our feet. So
Mm.
at that point, I still had my license in California, and I didn't have a license in Arizona. I didn't know anything about Arizona.
Wow.
I did get in a conversation with Anthony and Jason, who are the CEO and the president of our company, and I
Mm.
told them what's going on in Arizona. Are you guys looking to open up? And they said, yeah, we just don't have a broker. So what I did, I went and got the broker's license. Thankfully, all my experience in California, all the years, counted towards me being able to get the license fairly quickly.
Hmm.
And I knew a lot of the leaders out here in Arizona that helped us grow the company out here. So that's how I got here. It was through things that had fallen apart, and thank God I was able to find my way back, and now we're here. Now it's funny to say that a long time ago, I always knew that I wanted to serve a lot of people, more agents, and get my broker's license. I thought I was going to be in California,
Mm.
um, and it came out to happen out here. So the reason why I say that is because we never know we can know what we want, but we never know what are going to be the exact steps for us to get there. One of the quotes that I like living by, I think it was Steve Jobs. He said, "You cannot connect the points, the dots looking forwards. You can only connect them looking backwards."
Wow, it's
And
powerful.
when we're able to see that, as long as we stay focused on the outcome that we want for ourselves and our families, we need to be okay with going through whatever we need to go through to get there. And the best part about that is that if we focus on improving ourselves and not being so concerned about everything that could be crumbling around us, we can get the outcomes much faster.
Wow. So that's a lot. That was a lot that you just shared right now. Thank you for that. It, it's interesting, especially when you're going through a season of losing it all, because that's what it sounds to me like that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it can either go either way, right? You can come on top, or if not, completely destroy your life
Mm-hmm.
and never make it out. What happened to you? Because even though, like, you could say support and all that, I know that one of the things we believe in the podcast and also our communities, so our communities called Collect the Closers. The reason why right away people think we're talking about closing deals and closing sales and all that stuff. In reality, what we're saying is closing ourselves, like closing ourselves to believing that we can move past, turbulence, or move past failures, or just convincing yourself that you can make it through. So what happened to you? How do you go from I'm stuck, I'm in a hole, and starting all over? For a lot of people, that could be the ego wouldn't allow you to do that. So what happened to you? How do you went and surpass that?
So the reason when I say is that I was on a low point, I was at a point where I was having suicidal thoughts, and I would
Wow.
even tell my wife this, and I couldn't get myself to. At that point, we had our little girl, our first baby. I couldn't get myself to just let go, you know, and I just started talking to God more and talking with my wife more and just saying, you know what, if we lose it all here, we lose it all here, but let's go somewhere where no one knows me, no one knows us. I can start anywhere. I don't care if I have to get a job just to start again. And I mean, even when I came here, I want to work for H&R Block for a few months. And meanwhile, I was getting the license and all that. I needed to provide for the family, you know? So to go to your question, it's, I had to sell myself on the possibility that the life that I want for my family is still there out there for me. That I can't quit on them. I had promised my wife so much up to that point, and everything I was delivering was the complete opposite. Like when I started making, in my opinion, a lot of money when I was young, because in real estate you can make money, you know. And for a kid from Watts that doesn't know much about anything, I started making money and I started feeling like if I was on top of the world. And I promised my wife, you know what? We're going to experience this. We're going to experience that. We're going to travel. We're going to have fun. We're going to give back to communities. We're going to do this and that. And none of that was happening out there, man. None of it was happening out there. And I really believe that it was because God had a purpose for us to disconnect from out there. That way, number one, I could connect with God and I could connect with my wife better, because it was just getting to a point where it wasn't a good space. Um, So I had to continually start repeating to myself and writing in my journal and envisioning my daughter deserves a better dad. My daughter deserves a better role model. My wife deserves everything that I promised her. And by the grace of God, man, thank God that we were able to do what we've been able to do and just work through it. You know, it hasn't been perfect, as you all know.
Yeah.
However, we've been focused on improvements, not perfection, improvements. in everything, in our health, in my relationship with God, my relationship with my wife, in the business, in guiding the agents, and just supporting wherever we can, not only in business but also on a personal level.
Wow, this is big, Jose, and it's big in so many ways because uh, in our industry, actually in our space with our company, right? You know that we connect with a lot of agents, and everything that you describe right now. First of all, I've been through that, and also all other people that have come through our doors, they have come in feeling the way you're saying, not maybe not to the extreme that you described, but in the sense of like, how can I explain this? Okay, so for anyone watching this, and then you can also maybe share a little bit more on this, Jose. How difficult is it for someone that has believed in the real estate industry, is watching other people succeed, and is watching other people do really well, for them to try it and then say, you know what, let me quit to go get a job? Have you met people like that? Because I know I have, and it's one of the hardest things to do. I've seen a lot of people that have joined the industry, and they're good people. They have a good heart. They have good intentions. The reality is that this business is really difficult if you do not have the right support and the right tools and the right guidance and also the discipline. That's be honest
Yeah.
about everything,
Mhm.
right? But when you see people that come in and then end up going to another job, I've seen it in their faces, the face of just
Defeat.
defeat and sadness, right? So it is something that I really want to acknowledge. For you to have gone through that, man, like it is hard. It is really difficult. And honestly, man, I am so just grateful for this opportunity to hear that story because I didn't know that about you, man. I really didn't know that. I know where I've always seen you from a distance and I've heard from you, and I thought it was just okay, he did well and everything was good, and now he's leading the company and everything. So, man, like it's something that I just wish there were enough words to share with people how difficult for people in our industry it is to go from having that so-called freedom and then having to rely back on getting a job. So you go back to Arizona and you're building everything brand new. So okay, so you go get a job, and then how do you go back to now believing in yourself on let me do it again? Because that's another, I can imagine that's another war right there with your identity.
It was because at that point, I mean, just blessed for my past clients too. I started getting more past clients calling me from California. So
Okay.
at that point, I was working H&R Block, and I wanted to drive out to California to put those deals together because I didn't have anyone out. I had not structured it the way I have it
Yeah.
now, and I needed to go out there. So the first year of me being in Arizona, I was probably gone around 7 months out of the year with all the trips going back and forth. And
Wow.
then when I was here, I was doing, since H&R Block is seasonal, I was just doing seasonal. Um, but the thing was that when you experience the opportunity, like you said, the freedom to create your own schedule, the freedom to not have a limit on how much you can create, the freedom to be there for your family's events, that is not given to you when you have a 9 to 5. I was going through that and I was like, there is no way I'm going to stay here.
Hmm.
There is no way I'm going to stay here. There's still
Yeah.
people calling me from a different state that are willing to work with me. So now I just need to figure out how to make it all work again.
Wow.
So it's a two-step thing for me. The belief of feeling stuck there, or the feeling of feeling stuck, just did not sit well. And I'm glad it didn't sit well because I think I was making $15 an hour.
Wow.
And we've had this conversation with the company. An agent that is a listing agent, how many thousands of dollars per hour can you generate? You know?
Yeah.
So from knowing where I've been to where I was at, I just knew it just had to be that phase just so I could provide food for my family. That's it.
Wow.
I didn't know how long it was going to take, but that was the main focus. Provide food for my family. I just make enough for that, and the rest, let's go figure it out, you know? And while I was figuring it out, I was studying to take the broker's exam. Um, I took, I ended up taking it 3 times, the
Wow.
st- the the courses, because I didn't pass the test. And thank God to my good friend Ivan Rivas out here. He's been such a blessing to me and my family. The last time I took it, I missed it by 1 point. And I called him and I said, "Hey man, I'm able to take the test tomorrow. Can I just crash at your place tonight? Because I'm not going back home without passing this." And I stayed over the night, passed it, and then I worked on getting the state license, and then we just started working. We just started working, talking to more agents and figuring this out together. Because
Nice.
none of us have really been in the space where we've opened up a brokerage. You know,
Got it.
we've been in the space of providing value and helping agents, but never where we're at now.
Hey, there's Jose Alvarez. I hope you're enjoying the Journey podcast by Collect the Closers. Many entrepreneurs are always messaging me about how do I back by my time? And that's where our favorite sponsor comes into the picture, Q4 Workspace. If you're looking for system support, executive assistants, editors, graphic designers, cold callers, basically anyone that can help you back by your time and really enjoy the freedom of your business, they're the people to call. Not only can they find the right support, but they can also train and create an operating system that will give you your time back and help you grow your business along the way. So make sure that you go to q4workspace.com or just hit the link below so you can grab more information and start enjoying life a little bit more and not letting go of your business.
Wow. Okay. So you get your broker license in Arizona, and then I'm guessing you go to produce, right? You started selling real estate.
Mhm.
When you go to a brand new state or you're a brand new agent, so maybe we have a brand new agent watching this and they have no business. What are some ideas, some thoughts that you can share on us so that way they can get their business going?
You know what? The first word that comes to me, which has been very strong in my life right now, is resourcefulness.
Okay.
Resourcefulness. So it's crazy because the business that I got when I first started out here was from referrals from agents in California.
Okay.
So it wasn't even that I was looking for the business here, just because I was focused on expanding the brokerage. But now I've done different things and I'm just finding business here too. Um, I think the biggest part when someone is new, don't focus on only letting people know that you buy and sell, that you can help them buy or sell. Don't focus on that. Right now, we're reading a book, Ninja Selling. It's an amazing book. If you guys have not read it, go get it. Like all the top producers in the industry have experienced this book, and I say experience because you got to do the work that's in it. Find a way to provide value and be there for the people. If it's whatever it is, if they have questions about the value of the property, if they have questions about resources, even though they don't have to do with real estate, start becoming resource for yourself. So I think the biggest thing for me has been at this point, if I were to start at zero, is who do I need to connect with that has a database? For example, CPAs. Go find a CPA. In the beginning, it's going to be hard because they don't know you, but go find a CPA that needs that you can provide value to. Go find an attorney. Go find just think of businesses. Go to businesses down in your downtown. There's business owners there that don't have time to be out and about looking for a real estate agent. But if you become that agent that can bring the resource to them, you will become the resource for them when it has to do with real estate. So I would take a completely different approach. I won't focus on just, I want to help you buy or sell. Yes, I want to be there for that. But how can I bring value to you? How can I be there for you? How can we celebrate your wins? How can we celebrate your family? And the rest just comes together, you know? I think the biggest part is don't get so attached about how much you're going to make or how much you need the income. Get attached to helping the client get the result that they want for themselves and their families, and everything else will come into play.
And I can only imagine in a space where you were fighting for your dream in your life, how difficult it is to not be attached to the money, right? It's I mean, you cannot, so coming from you saying that and then seeing your success now, you're an example of the bigger goal. Like what is the ultimate goal? So
Mhm.
Let me ask you this. You talk to how many agents do you think you're in connection with right now on a monthly basis? If we were to just play with the numbers a little bit, that you're talking to, helping, or just onboarding them, or just welcome into the environment, if you were to put a number.
I'm going to say about 150, 200 agents,
Um,
just because it's
yeah.
new agents and it's also agents that have been with the company for a while. And it's also agents that I'm talking to about the company,
Yeah.
and also agents that our agents are talking to about the company. So I talk to a lot of people.
And what do you think is the correlation? And not to say that there's, you could say, bad producers, mid tier producers, and high producers. We're not really labeling it that way, but we are, right, for us to describe the differences. What do you think happens from someone starting, let's say, at zero, and then someone that is mid tier and someone that is at high producing? Is there something that you notice that there's correlations on, that would be able to share to guide someone find their way through that ladder? Because everyone has to go through it at one point in their career.
Two things: their self-image and their belief.
Okay.
If you have all the right tools, all the right support, all the right techniques, and you're not getting the result, it's because of your self-belief, like your self-image. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone that's bringing value, or do you see yourself as someone that can't do this business? So that has been the biggest difference. Their self-image and their belief. And the reason why I say that is because when someone believes that something is possible, they stay in the mentality that I will figure this out.
Mm.
But when you stay focused on, you know what, this is too hard, you will end up going to the victim mentality, and you will find an excuse even when the solution for whatever you're facing is right there in front of you.
And I'm sure, and I can make an assumption that when you were going through your struggles, that's probably something that you had to face, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
normally that's how we can guide or coach someone with we have gone through it.
Exactly. And I
What
can tell you, right, like I had all the tools. I have the experience. I had the database. Imagine, since 2005, I had been selling. I had all that, but there was something going on within myself that wasn't allowing for it to fruition. And then maybe it was just that it wasn't supposed to happen for me in California right now. Maybe it was because I needed to come out here to build this. Because now it's crazy because I'm still getting business in California. I'm about to close 2 this week in California. Again, I'm not, and it's not hard anymore. So I feel that I needed to go through this space where I needed to build myself up because I had let myself down so much, and then just start keeping promises to myself again first.
And I'm gonna ask a really hard question, right? Because we don't know what the audience, especially if there's someone out there with a specific scenario. But if you're trying to go beyond that, or you're trying to talk a little bit more on that, where do you start? How can someone start saying, okay, I need to rewrite my own story? Uh, what do you think is something that can benefit someone to find themselves in a situation where they say, I'm working on rewriting me, and I'm either using a certain tool, certain people? What do you think is something that can help someone?
The first thing is going to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
First and foremost, don't make anything up. Whatever it was, whatever it is, just be honest with yourself. Determine where you're at. Take inventory of everything within your life: your health, your finances, your relationship. If you're married, how's your marriage? If you have kids, how's your relationship with kids? If you have parents, how's your relationship with your parents? Take inventory of everything that has to do with you and what you connect to, first and foremost. Okay. Once you take inventory, you need to determine where you want to go. Now, the reason why I say that is because unless you have a clear target, you will always be going somewhere. Okay. The third thing: what is the next immediate step? So let me give you an example of this. If someone is devastated, their next immediate step isn't blissfully happy. Correct? It's something in between. Maybe it's something neutral, you know? So for me, the first thing was, in my example, go get a job to provide food for my family. It didn't make sense.
Got
It didn't make sense, because if I'm talking about making millions of dollars and building an empire and traveling the world and doing all this stuff, how is me getting a job that is paying me $15 an hour going to help? It didn't make sense. However, what it made sense with was that I needed to provide food for my family. So we are all guided, man. We are all guided. Whatever you believe in, by all means, you are guided. I believe in God and I believe He is guiding me. He will guide you to the next step for you. It may be an uncomfortable step. The door may be open for you. Just walk through it. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay there. When I got that job, I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to stay there. There was no doubt. I just also knew that it was going to be uncomfortable. It was going to be uncomfortable because it messes with you. It messes with you. It's like you're capable of so much more, yet you're here, and you can easily be beating yourself up mentally and doing that.
Right.
So find out where you're at. Take inventory of everything that has to do with you and your life, and then after that, determine where you want to go, and then work on the next step for you, whatever that may be. And if people don't understand it, by all means, it doesn't matter. You understand it. And then from there, there's another thing that I like to talk about is, I forgot where I got it from. I didn't create it though. In order to move ahead in life, you got to go to the furthest point that you can see. Once you get there, you'll determine what's the next step for you. But you can't try to keep skipping steps. I think that was another big thing that I did. Skipping steps. It's like, no, let's just pay the price for this stage of our lives. And then this will enforce better skills, better thinking processes, better abilities to make sure that you're ready for the next stage of your life.
There's a coach. I think he's a coach and a writer. I think his name is David Bayer. I think. I listened to his channel a lot on YouTube. He was saying that the hustle culture, even though it works, it can only work so far. That you need to really understand that if you already have something in your mind or an idea in your heart, it's because God already allowed it to be it. You just have to be there to receive it. And it reminded me a lot of what you're saying. It's like I used to always share this with my wife. I'm like, I find myself in situations where I used to think I'm crazy. I'm like, why is it that? Because at the same time, right, we all have our journey, and I had my fair share, and I will share with her. I'm like, why is it that God gave me all these ideas if I'm not gonna have them, if I'm not gonna complete them, So and the funny thing is that I've never thought about it the way that you said it right now, where it's like, just get to the next point, and then over time you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, wow, like, look at everything that has happened, right? And that is so cool to hear, because I'm sure a lot of people can also resonate with that if they have gone through journeys similar, where they're looking back and they say, wow, look at my history, look at where I come from. So wow, this is so cool. So then when you move away from to Arizona, you're Hispanic, right? Obviously, like myself, and we are normally, for the most part, family oriented. Your parents, they still live in California? They stayed back as you moved away, or what happened there?
Everyone is in California. It was
Everyone's
just
in California.
my wife, and our little girl in the middle of nowhere, man. In the middle of nowhere. And that in itself was a challenge. That in itself was a challenge because we really needed to learn to depend on God and on my wife, like us as a couple, and figure it out together. And I feel that was another blessing that God had prepared for us, because that has helped me for the next steps that we're doing. Now we have a very, very strong bond in regards to, if we make decisions, we make them together. And if one of us doesn't agree with it, then we let that go. It's not for us,
Wow.
And I'm just grateful to God because the way we're moving now, it's at a much peaceful pace. I'm not
Nice.
rushed anywhere.
You're just now you're just attracting everything that you want in life and just moving along with the goal, with the ultimate goal, which was to have the life of your dreams that you always thought you could. And
Right.
so what's next for you? Like, okay, I know you're leading the company now, and I'm sure bringing in more people, more agents is the goal, right? That's the goal for every company to grow. But what's your personal goal, financially, or anything you have planned, and also on the business level?
Okay. So the next thing for my wife is also pregnant, so our son's coming.
Congratulations!
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. He's coming in June.
Oh, nice.
So so the next thing is just me finding ways of being more present for my family,
Got
even
it.
more. And we've been structuring things that way with Arizona, within the company, just figuring out of how can I be more efficient with my time and what I have to provide. Um, in regards to income, we just want to be able to focus more on the residual side of the business,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then the team. So I have agents that help me in California, and then I have agents that help me out here with my personal business too,
Okay.
and grow that, streamline all that. That way, I can literally work from anywhere I want. And we in the company we preach that a lot, and I can honestly say that if I wanted to, I can get up from where I'm at. I can go to Mexico. I can go to El Salvador. I can go from anywhere, and still do what I'm doing now. I just want to do it in a bigger level where I can empower more agents to believe that they can also create the business of their dreams and the life, of course.
Did your did your you not I don't want to call it your end goal, because I'm sure you have probably more plans to do bigger things, but
Mhm.
based on where your career is at right now, did you imagine it like that way back when? Did it shift a bit?
I am. It did. It did. It did. I'm amazed of what's happened.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have orchestrated it the way it did.
right.
Um, I always knew I was going to earn residual income.
Yeah.
I always thought it was only on real estate though.
Ah,
Um,
like the
now,
purchases, like purchasing homes, and yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and having rental property and all that. And now the real estate that we're building is people.
Yeah.
So I see the potential of that and so much greater than anything else out there. Just
Yeah.
because you don't know the people that you impact, how many thousands or even millions of people they're going to impact in the future. So my end game with this is impacting other leaders, other trainers, other legacy creators to create the same for their whoever they touch.
The reason why I asked that question is because, like, even on myself, like, I've seen my perspective of leadership of teams different, because of the people I'm around, of course, right? You guys and everything that I see. And I've changed my mind from big team, small team, big team, small team, and virtual everything and non-virtual. And it's like, whereas everything's been shifting in different ways. So that's why I asked that question, right? Because, and I think you and I probably are in the same vibration of that, where it's like, we didn't think we were gonna be doing what we're doing now, but we're doing it now. And I guess I wanna make sure that I can describe that to people, because it doesn't matter what part of your career you're in, if you're just starting off, and or maybe if you are restarting, or if you maybe are changing your mind, just know that it's normal. You could say, right? For the most part, I have not met one leader that has said, I didn't change my mind of my business model like two, three times, So it is something normal. Hanging around the right people, though, I always think helps you to calm down and make sure you stay focused. One of our mutual friends, Jason, right? I was just talking to him yesterday, and he was telling me, he's like, damn, dude, the foundation that you're building with collected closers and all the groups and everything, he's like, eventually it's just going to explode, because you're just creating a foundation to attract a lot of people. And it was exciting to hear that, So again, when I think of you, think of your story, and then also how you plugged in with the people that we mutually know. I think that also plays a big role, like who you're surrounding yourself all the time with, and who you're sharing ideas with, right?
That is a must, man. Because if not, there's a saying that if you're not growing, you're dying. I really believe that. I
Yeah.
really, really believe that, because if you're not hanging out with people that are going to help you become better, think better, create better, you're missing out. You're missing out. And I can
Yeah.
honestly say, for many years, I was very uncomfortable in the circles that I was in, because
Really?
I was the one with the least amount of income,
Mhm.
least amount of experiences, least amount of connections.
Wow.
And I know that for a fact because of the questions that I asked the people and the relationships I created from there. However, it was the best thing that I can do, because I felt that at some point or another, it was just gonna catapult me. Something was going to click, make sense, and let's go, you know? And and I feel that's exactly what's taking place now. We're moving ahead faster, but I'm not rushing. We're moving ahead stronger. We're moving ahead with a strong foundation. And like when you have that, especially when you have God as a support, like nothing will shake you. Nothing will shake you to the point that you're just going to, I don't know, just give up. There's no need for that. There's always an opportunity to come back to you, come back to your dreams. I don't care the age, I don't care the time frame. There's always an opportunity to come back. And I really feel that we need to remind ourselves of that, sometimes over and over and over, but don't let go of that truth. Your dreams were given to you because you are able to turn them into a reality. That is the only reason why you got them. And that's why sometimes the dreams that we have don't make sense to anyone else, because they weren't meant for them, you know?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that the dreams that we have, the desires, the ambitions, they're given to us for a reason, and we need to execute on them.
Nice, nice. Well, Jose, this has been a pleasure, man. Your story, I'm impressed, man. I'm speechless. I did not imagine this. I'm telling you, the way you carry yourself, your energy. If people were to know you, they will know exactly what I mean. So anyone out there that may want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that? If they have questions about the business, what's the best way to do that? Is it through email? Is Instagram? How can people connect with you?
Instagram will be fine, or even they can reach out to me directly. My number is 562-200-0977. The only thing I do ask, that if we're going to have a conversation, that you're ready to make the changes that you need to do for yourself.
Nice.
I believe that the information is out there. We have to be the ones that are ready to make the change.
100%. Cool. Well, again, thank you, Jose, for this. This has been a treat. I'm so happy that we were able to get you on this podcast, and it's like excited for all the lives that you're gonna help, and I know that for a fact because I've been there. When you were saying your story, man, like it was like, oh man, like this is my type of guy, like just being able to lift yourself up is something that not a lot of people get to do. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure by now you see it as a blessing, right? You were able to do that. So again, man, thank you for this moment. Thank you for just sharing with us. And again, everyone watching the Journey podcast, remember that's the hope that we can help with an idea, with a thought, with something that can inspire you to just not forget that you have to close yourself on your dreams and anything you want to do. And we're just hoping that this space can allow for someone to hear just that one sentence that could potentially change your life. So thank you again for watching, and don't forget to share with anyone else that could benefit from this. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for listening to the Journey by Collect the Closers. I am your host, Jose Alvarez. And don't forget to share this episode with a business owner or friend or loved one that you believe can impact their lives in business. Our hope is to be able to help other business owners, entrepreneurs, be able to find ideas, thoughts, or anything that could benefit their journey as they hear other fellow entrepreneurs also go through their own struggles, experiences, and wins, and our hope to be able to promote and push people to follow their dreams and not give up. Thank you one more time, and I hope that you find something of value in these episodes.